dear government leaders, and dear volunteers that are helping me to make all those videos. So here we have the continuation of the department 2, and this is the video number 3. So residential community handbook. Rules and guidelines for residential, community, garden, common areas. So residents have to practice all the rules and guidelines really properly. The pool, the laundry room, the use of the meeting rooms, and the maintenance of the area, the play areas and playgrounds, the main entrance. So whichever the code are required at the main entrance, we have to do really properly. We cannot receive friends at our homes, not from own community and not from outside. Outside people cannot come, not even to the pool or to the common area, because that's not the safest way. So people want to meet, they know someone, it's okay, meet in a restaurant, meet at the park. They can gather in other city locations to talk, to encounter, for the children to play or something. City park, county parks, public parks that everyone will have. That's very important for us to remember and practice really properly. Everyone will help to clean staircase, hallways, breezeways. That's very important. And clean up every place they had used for anything, and mostly after Saturday garden working days. We clean up, stop like 10 or 20 minutes ahead, no longer, because that's not needed. Wash all the tools, let them drip a little bit with the breeze, the wind, and then put them inside in a safe, proper location. If they need drying, with a rag before they place inside, it's okay. If they're too humid, they're going to need some AC so they don't get bad. So it depends on the region the community is located. So this is very important. Everyone will help to wash 2 or 4 times a year the sideways, the pedestrian sidewalks. With pressure clean or something stronger. That's important as well. Now we are going to say a few words about family registration. Family registration, it's we are going to say, as we said, people that still need care, even that they already went, they already check up, that they're going to register with the organization because they have to study and work. And they're going to have proper schedule. So the dentist going to do their main work, such as cavities, things like that. But for longer treatments, such as implant, because some people don't have teeth in their mouth, right? So for implants, and then they're going to leave and go to this office every day at the same time in a consistent way. So before or after the end of the workday, or the end before or after their study hours. Okay, so that's how we are going to do. For treatment, longer things, but the major things needs to be completed. And also for the doctor, everyone needs to have their proper medicine for worms prior to complete their registration. Everyone in the whole country, because many people have worms they don't even know, and that's not healthy for them. Okay, so the registration will complete, people will check the videos, do the test. And here's for house makeover. For people that will receive in teams that will be doing house makeover in any ways, they ahead of time they have a checklist. So please do a checklist at the Peace app. So they check everything. They take pictures of places if needed according to the instructions for the teams that are coming to know better what it is. So they're going to have the house number, the address really properly done. And they will also have some pictures or even mini videos, to explain the surrounding or something that might not be so clear at the sign-up list of what the house needs. And everyone will be properly organized and have materials donated or paid at those locations before those teams, those working teams, to get to the communities. And the best as possible, who will be doing that is the people that already live there, and avoid people from outside. But in some cases, to start with, because it's on the beginning of the few weeks, it's better get wherever it's possible to get the things done. Because if we have in the future only 2 couples for maintenance, imagine how they're going to fix hundreds of houses, or 100, 200 houses, or 200 apartments. Impossible. They can maintain afterwards. But to start up and have everything up to date will come teams. Okay, water efficiency. We're going to fix everything, exchange everything from toilets to sink, taps and things like that. So they're going to come and change, and in 1 hour is done. Or even 10 minutes, depending what they're doing. For refrigerators, for stoves, for carpets, and for installation of tiles. So comes those teams on their trucks that they already have, or vans. They come, and in a few minutes or even a few hours, the job is completed. They go to the next apartment, the same, next. Okay, because it will be impossible for 2 couples that will be the future maintenance staff for that community to be doing all those things. So we get these contractors that still have their license, and we're going to check them, and they need to present their vans, be really organized, have all their materials really neat and done, and for each house, which materials they use, and to have proper work orders and proper materials used, proper receipts, and all these things. Even for us to have our all the paperwork we need and receipts for our billing department, because it's important for us to have everything really clear at our website. Okay? All right. So the training for the families and for these teams, these contractors, will be all online. They will have tests according to the necessity. They will have more tests to make sure they're doing well. And every van of those makeover for residential, for business, they will be having a checkup of their trucks, their vans, whatever vehicle they are using, because this is also very important. So sometimes people can go to work walking or take urban buses, and a trailer full of materials will already be there at that community with the things they need. So we can have electric trailer, the other one's plumbing trailer, one for each thing, water efficient items, and so on. All the trailers that are needed already there. So they won't be bringing their own vans or cars. They just walk themselves. Okay, so that's another way. So please help us out to have all this organized for each community of each county. So we'll have a very efficient work. The other thing is that who has to come first? So it makes no sense for us to break, for example, some stoves or install the flat stove if the floor was not done, because some of them gonna need a different cabinetry and things like that. So in order. So I need very efficient people to make sure for every community we do things in a proper order. And for the carpet also, because people need to take the carpet out, and as soon as take out, they have to vacuum. So instead of hundreds of people to keep their vacuums, we're not doing that. The people that are bringing the carpets, so the residents clean their carpet. Okay, the vacuum cleaner is gone. But when the team will be taking the carpets out, they already sweep the bottom, because might be full of dust mites and things like that, and have to be really careful. Okay. The other thing is that we need to put cameras. So as soon as they come in, they already turn on the cameras before they enter those buildings, those front doors, to make sure that camera, the wall camera, it has a little, they can put somewhere very easily without damaging the wall, a little stick or something, and they will record everything they're doing there, and until they leave the door again and close the door with someone from the community. So that way they will have recording everything, go to the person's cell phone, the person downloaded the Peace app, this job is done, and they go to the next house and so on, or next apartment. So we will have everything properly recorded, the best as possible, depends what are the needs. So we are sure they did proper installation, and then the proper inspection gonna come afterwards. Other people will be checking all the houses, all the apartments of that same community for every single thing. Make sure they were properly made and complete. Closing of negative business. So everyone that was producing or selling tobacco, drugs of all types, including cannabis, alcoholic drinks, and etc. Also businesses that didn't have positive things, like bars, some restaurants that were really negative, and some nightclubs and all casinos and places like that. So what's gonna happen? For things that were legal on those countries, so it's okay, right, what we can do, but they will keep only one house or apartment, everything else, all their properties, all their money, will be donated to people in need, because those were not positive practices, right? So we're gonna help people in need. That's what we're going to do. This house that the people is for people to live in, and they have to work as everyone else to get even better. And this house will be located in a medium neighborhood. For those that were really bad, they can go to even more far away, or for semi-arid or desert areas. For all new business that are authorized by our work on the peace program, right? They will have all the requirements, paperwork and everything. They will be inspected at starting time, and as soon as they will be doing their updates needed every week and have enough staff to do everything they need, then it's okay. They can be open. Some of them, they can close a half to serve people, and some of them, can have a half period. So we are willing to work in what is possible, so people can continue or start working. But for everyone that will offer food, for staff or for guests, such as hotels, restaurants, and everyone else, educational sites, need to have the community gardens planted according to the number of guests they want to receive, because that's important, and each location they are, so because nobody's going to be buying food afterwards from too far away. And the other thing, if they need, they can have another land close by, not too close, but they have to be sustainable for the staff to be gathering, taking care, gathering the produce and bringing over. So all this is also important. As soon as they are doing every week, until the end, when they really paint and everything is completed, that will be okay. They can already be open and do, and of course, if they finish all their documentation until the end, when the inspectors will be coming again. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about non-profit organization cleanup and closing. Okay, so what happens is, in our planet there are millions, right, of organizations, and many of them are not positive in the way that they trick the government, they trick other people to get what they want. For example, we have organizations that go to rainforests to get minerals. In reality, they're saying that they're environmentalists and things like that. So we have a lot of things like that. We also have organizations that donate almost nothing to the real cause. They pay salaries to themselves, to others, and very little is given to the real cause that they say they're giving to. But we also have very honest organizations that has been working very clearly with a lot of credibility and dignity along the years. So what we will do, we will be one organization, and that is the Clean Water and Peace Organization. People that have good background with their practices, they will be invited to work on the area that's possible. And people and volunteer, but with one guidelines, one handbook with rules and guidelines, for all of us to be united. Instead of people receiving 10, 20, 50 different options of donation, they don't even know what to do. We will have one. Okay, so what's the next following register community? That one. Okay, then we send money to this, and that. So priority will be health, right? So people can be healthy, have their homes, and start going to school, start working, volunteering, and so on. So they have to check everything, clean up their paperwork, announce to all the board members, announce to staff, announce to volunteers, have a special closing, that's fine, have a special moment, but that has to be quick. So they do 2 days notice and a special dinner, a special lunch, that's okay for only for themselves or the children. Presents, depends the time of the day, that's okay, do a nice closing, that's fine. But they have to complete everything, and all remaining donations they're gonna give to the Clean Water and Peace Organization, because we are going to be one. It's very important for us to be one. And for all materials they have and everything they have, so they have the option, depends on the situation, to sell or to give or to continue working as contractors, such as people that help to dig, companies that help to dig water wells, and so on. We have many, I can't explain them all. We are going to stop to give food, so every food bank gonna give what they have. People will eat the perishable things first, because you're not throwing food away. So every food bank, every food organization gonna give what they want and close down, because they are not needed. We have to be strong on planting our own food. And people for now can have can openers and things like that, and as soon they start producing, they will learn how to keep their vegetables for longer time and so on. Now we talk about the organization, non-profit organization cleanup, and now we also have the churches, the church cleanup. The church cleanup in the same way. People will send, as soon as they receive this notice, that can be in an email, in a letter, given by hand, or it can be one of those videos. Those videos are also a notice letter. It's very important to take action. As soon as you see those videos, to take action and do what you have to do. So the church cleanup, so the person that received the messages, the person in charge or the secretary, will send the notice to all the board members, and the board members gonna meet. They have to meet in up to 48 hours. Everyone receiving notice have to meet in 48 hours and take action. So they will meet in 48 hours for planning. Okay, the same as the non-profit organization, 48 hours to talk to their board members and everything. Okay, so they make a plan, right, on how they have to clean up and everything, empty out, or what that place gonna be, if they're gonna the land or the building gonna be donated or gonna be sold, what they're gonna do with all their stuff and things like that. What is authorized for them to sell and what's not authorized. What they can recycle, that's aluminum or different materials, their machinery. Okay, so they have more. So they have 48 hours for the board and then 48 hours for the participants. Okay, for each church call. And for the non-profit organization, the same way. They have 48 hours for the board and 48 hours for all the participants. That means staff and volunteers. Okay, so the church and the non-profit organization have to clean up everything, paint, fix, leave the building ready. For that building to be an adult education or a school, be ready for whatever is needed on that area, be remodeled and made into homes, family homes. So they will do that, and they will have letters sent to all emails, both of them, the non-profit organization and the churches. Will have letters sent to everyone that they do not belong to that church anymore. Because that's important for us to complete things properly so they can have their special lunch or dinner with or without their children and get it complete. Everyone has to clean their desks really properly. Some places can leave the computer and things that will be needed for the following building. And all the volunteers that are sending them the notice and have the capacity to already have a proposal, we already send them the proposal that place will be used for. And they can sell for a reasonable price or they can donate, and that's their decision. But the volunteers, we already give a proposal. What is most needed for this area or that area is, and already tell them on the notice letter. Okay? Or this statement will be sent afterwards by the proper department, the city office, with the proposal, what is needed on each county on that exact location. Okay, so now we are going to talk about 2 rooms. Everyone will have gardens and everyone will have 2 rooms to share everywhere. From hotels to restaurants, residential communities, educational sites. And it's very, very important to have everything perfectly neat, organized, one beside the other. Very strong hangers for those large tools, places for small tools, and in a way that they can have space in between them so they can really dry well. With a fan or something that they can have overnight, because for these 28 weeks, 4 weeks and then 28 weeks, we are going to use them really, really a lot. And even the towels, the dark blue towels, that can dry them a little bit before they put them inside, because we're not putting tools dripping inside those masonry 2 rooms. We are not going to have sheds in aluminum or things, the materials that are not really durable. We are going to have proper masonry built 2 rooms or garage, whichever you call. But the best is to have not garage doors, but have proper doors with a knob. And that's easy to not these round ones, because sometimes they are hard. If the hand is wet or something, we're not going to have it. So proper, very strong handles, strong doors, metal doors. So all these, why metal doors? Because can't have wood, if it's outside. so they last forever. We need doors that last forever. Metal doors. Very strong and durable metal doors. So this is very important. Okay, and everything properly labeled very strongly, so they last for decades. Decades with the name of each tool. Okay, so here are brooms, here is shovels, and here is everything. Okay, so we need big windows. People that are dealing with the tools, they're gonna be able to see outside what's going on. We need some space to move, not tiny corridors for those tools. All this is very important. We need different types of broom, different types of materials to make the herbal tea for the plants, the natural fertilizer. We need the proper place for everything. Okay, so for everything, even for the seeds that they will be harvesting. So we will get plastic bags, and how we are going to keep those plastic bags. So that's another thing we have to figure, because every year we will be harvesting seeds from our own lands. So it's very important. We put in a plastic bag, small ones, like small Ziploc bags. Take all the air out, let them dry, of course, in a shade or in the sun according to instructions. That's another video. We really need all details for each type of seed, because it makes a difference. And some of them don't even put to dry, already plant them in. Don't let it dry, don't wait for next year. So we need proper instructions for all the seeds. And as soon as for the ones that will be kept for the following, how we are going to keep them. And if it's just a few, as a small like sandwich size Ziploc bag, or if it's if there will be many, or if there will be roots. So we need proper instructions how we are going to keep them and label them and date. So we're very organized year after year after year, always doing exactly the same for that particular region according to what they need and how those things will be kept and so on. Okay? So every year we will have business annual patrimony reports, what they have, if they add something to it, no one gonna lose anything. So we need proper reports, people that will be checking how many, and even taking some pictures and things like that. So we're really organized, and business owners will have all this information properly written and reports sent to the Peace app. Real estate. So real estate will also be connected to the organization. We can't have people doing their own thing. So all the information, houses will have very detailed information about themselves, with proper pictures and everything, even afterwards, because people are not going to move for 10 years. But until the end of the 28 weeks, owners can sell their homes. It will be the best, instead of having empty houses around. Some will be empty anyways, because population will increase in many places. So we will have some buildings in all communities to receive future couples, new couples. But we also need to see how those buildings, those houses or apartments, will be kept. So one idea, because everyone gonna have solar panels anyways, is to have the AC in a good temperature for them to come twice a day or so and take the humidity out the house. And maybe twice a year or so, someone will come and clean up those apartments, because no one will be living there for 10 years, but they have to be cleaned. So those are some ideas, just to take the dust out and they will be closed, windows, doors, they will be closed, and someone will check, the maintenance couples of that community will be checking them out every month to make sure this is working, and run the water a little bit, a few seconds in each location, just to keep those houses clean and neat and make sure they're working well. And basically it's that. And so they're ready for the new couples that will be moving. For games related to tricks, some of them, like simple ones for the parents to do with their children, it's okay, and you will be checking our videos for those that are authorized and for those that are not, because we have both of them. And no trophies, no medals, none of that, because as we say before, people won the Olympiads or this and that. They will keep the good memories on their heart. But we are not doing, because not sustainable. People use too many hours of practice for them to win something, and lack of time with their families and things. Or people travel too much and it's not needed. So all the competitions will be done at their own county and neighbor counties, and no state or national or international competitions. All street light posts will be 2 or 4 meters, depends where they're located. If it's inside the community, 2 meters, fine. No one will touch them. And they will have cameras, bulbs that are cameras itself. At major roads, regular streets, the same way. They will be 2 or 4 meters. I think that's plenty. And the same way, the light bulbs are already a camera, and nobody will bother touching them so they don't have bad consequences. I mean real bad ones. Because we have to be able to take care of what we pay ourselves. We can't be, some countries people keep shooting them, throwing rocks on them. That's gonna end for real. Okay? And we don't need these huge posts on streets. For what reason? Or so much light on highways. People will be driving during the day, those that have authorization. That's what they're going to be doing. Okay? During the 28 weeks, also, everyone, including teens and young adults, they have to be home. They have to be home. They cannot knock the door in the middle of the night. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. They have to be on time, arrive on time, be responsible, have dinner with the family, and be better. That's the only way. It's none of those places going to be open at night, and it's curfew from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock for families and until 5 o'clock for drivers. No one will be working at night, or not even security guards out there. Okay? In the morning, security guards going to check the cameras. And if anyone was out there and going to get caught, they're going to pay high prices for their consequences. Because we need a better humanity. That's the only way, right? So we have to be better, all of us. For divorced parents, the parents that do have the children, or most of the children, have priority on the decision if they want to move to another state or country, or if they want to stay. According to their definition, the other parent that has no children or less children has to stay or move out, because they're not staying at the same state. This is very important. Okay. It's very important for us to have a video about passwords and PIN numbers for people to don't use what is obvious. So we need to give many ideas on how people can memorize them. Even that now some people will have hard time, they can choose easier ones. But for future decades, for people to be smart, because everyone will be really smart on the future. They will be taking sun, will be working out. Everyone will have really clear brain. So how to choose and reset them often. For some of them can reset twice a year, some of them once a year, and for emails and things like that. So it's very important to don't use always the same, and because we have cameras, so the way you hold your cell phone when you tap in your PIN, that's another important thing. Hold towards your body and not towards the camera, because cameras for security of practices, but not to know your pins and your passwords. So we need a video to guide people on what they can do now according to their memory and what they can do in the future, because those videos gonna stay online. So we can even have two different ones, right? Because right now some people, if we do it too hard, they can't remember. So, but on the future years, we need real proper instructions and basic things like that. Don't show their children, don't show their grandchildren. It's very important. Even a simple password, we cannot show them, because then they get the phone and they will be looking around, things that not for their age, or trying to do play video games, because many of them know right now, this year 2022, they know much more than their parents combined, so because they're really aware, school gave all those options and they use them over and over. Even for those that did not have cell phone, they're really electronic smart, right? So but we parents have to be better than them, and we have to be smarter and do things in a very good, proper way, and be firm and offer love all the time for everything, so we are really on time and on shape. So it's forbidden to get food from the bag, such as nuts, any type of food that's ready to be eaten, seeds and things like that. People put in a proper plates and a portion for everyone, the same of the family, and then they can eat. The same with food. Don't eat food from the pan. So those things are important for us to be, have better practice. Don't eat standing up. Sit down, everyone, eat together, because everyone will collaborate, will cooperate, and prepare the food and offer the food that's for dinner, lunch, or weekend, vacation days. And okay, so this is very important. Everyone also will help to clean up the table, wash the dishes, put the dishes away, clean the stove, and everything else. People with food, we cannot eat food with hands, like rice, beans, and things like that, as we've seen before. But we can eat with our hands pieces of veggies or pieces of fruit, okay? So, but for grains and small items, we need proper forks or proper spoons and eat properly. Always chew 25 times, minimum to 35 to 40 times, because when we chew, we have enzymes that will help on the digestion system, the digestive system, and will help us to have better health and better stomach, to last for many years. And we cannot chew 5 times as many people do nowadays. They have food that are not crunchy, they chew a few times, and it's not good, not healthy for us. So we have to be better with that. We are not going to have hard or soft bag coolers to put food, to bring to field trips, or to bring to work. We're not doing that. We are going to eat at work, at schools. Exception for field trips of the family, Sunday family day, people can bring a reusable bag. It can be a plastic bag or a dark canvas bag that won't stain. It can be brown or can be dark blue. That's okay. But not cooler's bag, the one that has aluminum inside, that's foldable or not foldable. So those coolers, hard cooler and soft coolers, we're not using any type for any reason because they're not sustainable. Okay, now during the 28 weeks, people will need a lot of work because of sugar intake. So because they were addicted to it, so we have to do the best we can for those adjustments until the end of the 28 weeks for everyone to be really good. For future years, I still think if the best will be 2 or 7 days. So every year on the first Monday of March, we won't eat fruits for 2 days or 5 days to that Friday, or for the whole week, 7 days. For us to be paying attention, that's just for adults, 20 years old and older. For us to be paying attention on our fructose intake. So that's really important. Against diabetes, cholesterol, for also people to be learning about themselves, how long they can stay without sugars, how long they can, because some people are addicted to carbohydrates, some people are addicted to gluten, they don't even know, some people to sugar, and even fructose we have to pay attention, it's very important. And once we will have many fruit trees with a lot of harvest in many countries, zones, right? Tropical, subtropical. It's very important for us to be working on those things. So probably we will stay for 5 or 7 days and not 2, as I said, because to be more efficient and for people to be paying attention. And they can eat more veggies, more salad, that's important. Donation of clothes. So it's very important for clothes that cannot be used, with rare exceptions such as synthetic sweaters, that's okay, will be sent to thrift stores only if they can be purchased, if they are approved. Everything else with words, with sentence, for shirts, for t-shirts, for pants, everything else that's not approved are to be sent to the recycle centers right away, because so we won't give too much work to the thrift stores to select all these clothes. Okay? And blankets the same way. So people will purchase their new blankets as soon as possible. Solid, neutral colors, new blankets, mostly for the children. As I said, no red blankets, no very bright blankets or pillowcase or sheets, because children, teens need to sleep, so they need neutral colors. The other thing that we can have, I'm thinking like 2 times a year, it's marches, street marches, that's okay, 2 per year, per county, with white flag movements, and the schools can come, and with their parents, we're trying to figure out how that would be sustainable and positive. So it needs to be during the day for sure, Saturday afternoon or Sunday, we have to think about that, and which days would be, like spring and summer maybe, but for tropical and subtropical will be zones will be too hot, so we have to see those details, but they are positive. Yeah, we can do them, that's fine. Okay, hypnotism can only be authorized during the 28 weeks for to cure someone. That's authorized because some people know how to do that. After that will be forbidden. And during these weeks, only for health and cure of people that need. This is very important. And the other thing is the university clinics will have places for life renovation program with death, let's say. We don't know yet how we are going to do that, because we can't have electric chairs there. The right way would be to have it a proper room or office, the city office, I thought. But it will be good to have something at the university clinic. Why is that? Because for the people that are pregnant, for the women that are pregnant and already made an agreement with grandparents, for example, they can be very close by, one room beside the other, and be talking a few minutes earlier, or of course not a few minutes, sorry, 1 or 2 hours earlier. And this, we can do it. We just have to see how, for the spirit to already incarnate on the pregnant woman that's delivering the baby right there at the university clinic. So we have to see how we can do that in an efficient, positive way. But we can do that. Instead of waiting months or years, we can do that, because grandparents are going to be elders, and the young woman that will be pregnant can already be talking to them. So families will continue on this position to be united in a positive way. Okay, and then they take care of the body. Nothing gonna be there. The main thing is the spirit. So the family will do prayers for both. Will be talking to both. Maybe even on a same room, but far away from each other. We have to see these details. But it is a great idea. So families are not going to have cars, vans, bicycles, scooters, surfboards, electric cars, electric children cars, any size, control remote cars or drones, computers, laptops, boats, iPads, iPods, everything else, because they are not sustainable. People that want to rent a boat or surfboard or skiing gear and anything else that's authorized, they go to a special location that each county will have according to what's most sustainable for the area, and positive, of course. Families going out on field days, they can bring a meal and a snack, or even 2 snacks, depending if it's real or the whole day activity. But the objective is for them to bring some hard fruits, vegetables, not cooked food, or unless it's cooked, but that they're not going to be bad by the time they eat them. Depends on the temperature and things like that. For everyone that has a family in another location, they have to make a plan very soon before the 4 weeks start, and see who wants to live with whom in the same county, the same residential community, because families will live together, the same residential community, to have their lives easier for them. Talk to them as soon as possible and decide which county, which country they will live, which community, residential community they will live, so they can live together. If it's an international trip for one or for the other, already get the visa and authorization and citizenship, if it's already possible, and move as soon as possible before the 4 weeks start. So they can enjoy the 4 weeks together, right? To plant and get organized. It's going to be really beautiful. Jewelry. Jewelry of all types. They can take the parts out, like the metal part and the stones, so they can keep them. If they're really very small, they can use on their earrings. And the teens and young adults can use, before they get married, they can use the ladies can use silver small earrings, and when they get married they will use gold, so it will match the earrings with the wedding band. And for the house cleanup during these 4 weeks, we have to clean up everything, including alcoholic beverages, cigarettes, any other related items, to use those things: cocaine, ayahuasca, peyote, cannabis, poppy, and everything else. Also books. Old books, we will have 2 lists at our website. The list that are already approved the way they are, and the books that will be approved with some modifications. So you have to really check the books you have, to make sure they are the ones that are already approved, because for those that are almost very good, excellent, they need to be improved, something, and families cannot have them. So we're all going to use them at our gardens, so the paint will leach down. I think that's the most sustainable, because to recycle them with chemicals, not good. To send all these books, millions, billions of books, to incinerate, I don't think that's needed. But let's think about that, and we will come with the best decision. The book covers the same way. So we will have instructions if it will be better to incinerate. Depends on the materials they are. Okay? All the magazine, newspapers, flyers, previous notebooks from different age groups, they all gonna be recycled, sent to be incinerated, or used at the gardens, the bottom of the garden beds, for them to decompose naturally. And if any cover is plastic or like these shiny magazines, then we will have a guidance about what to do, the best way, what we are going to do with them. So even for work that's like master's, PhD, thesis, we are not keeping anything. So for the very good ones, we are keeping online. And for the Excel, because we cannot check, we have way too many. So online, for those information, we can have what's really needed, but we're not going to keep them at our homes, because it will be impossible to check all of them. And the other thing is also for previous watercolors, previous drawings. If they're really, really good, people can keep. Otherwise, we renew, and everyone will start. We will renew, because we will make things even better. Even for the best schools that I know, for example, there are things that are not good. So we are going to make new, the children and teens gonna make new books, notebooks, and also adults and students, university students. Any previous email already, stop using them and cancel and say bye to your friends from social media, emails, and everything else that you're not using. And already try to register the emails the way we ask, with the 2 codes, 2 letters for the country, 2 for the county, and so on. We will use sanitizers, hand sanitizers, because depending on the work, the position, they are practical and can be used now. And masks, as I said earlier, for some type of jobs, that's fine. But not because of corona, because everybody gonna be really healthy. So we have to focus on health and breathe fresh air. This is really important. And no local office gonna have this rule for themselves, for staff or for guests or for students. Everyone, no mask, because people that are sick needs to be home and have fresh air, eat better, take sun. And only healthy people will go to work or to study. So no one will be wearing masks inside those locations. They're only going to use masks for jobs that really need as dust, as I said earlier. We are not going to use coronavirus items such as tapes, stickers, disinfecting sprays, the bad one or the easy one, or disinfecting wipes. None of these are needed. We are going to be clean, organized, open windows, have fresh air, and work outside, take sun, work out, and eat healthy. Everyone going to be really healthy. That will be great. All right, so baby items. We are not going to have disposable diapers, disposable wipes, or anything else that is not sustainable. Everyone will use cotton diapers, proper cotton washable mini towels instead of the disposable wipes that are very synthetic and things like that. The parents will give their infants food made at home. We're not going to have these jars, these food jars that have no much nutrients in it because they're cooked and for quite a long time. It's not needed. They're gonna do their own steaming. Steam fruits, veggies, whichever the age of the infant. And soon after, give proper, regular, fresh fruits and cooked vegetables for some more time, cooked roots. And no bottles, because everyone will breast milk, right? Up to 2 years old, with very careful attention. That's another long, quite many paragraphs about that. All the clothes detergents, soaps, house cleaning, items that are biodegradable is the only ones we will be using. But people that already have them, let's use, because you're not going to throw them away anywhere. So let's use carefully, and soon as they are finished, we will buy only new biodegradable ones. Items with white sugar, like bakeries can use them to mix things and sell their items still. Families can use if they don't have diabetes at the house, of course, but no hydrogenated fat. So for everything related to food, if the parents still have on their freezers or processed food, they can eat, that's fine, no problem. And but for example, if it's cow's butter or margarines, depends. If they are healthy, they can eat a little bit, moderation till the end, till they don't have any more, because we don't want to throw food away, as I said. And peanut butter, almond butter, salad dressing, if they don't have hydrogenated fat, if they're healthy, of course, they can use them, that's fine. Ice cream, desserts, and things like that, because we don't want to throw food away. So they're not so good. Eat with moderation, all right? And for the ones that are healthy. So the supermarkets can sell salads up to, we said, salads and veggies, right? Up to 8 weeks. Up to 8 weeks. And after that, they can close down or they can become distribution centers. So that's up to the owners, because people cannot carry too much weight around and they will close. So I think 8 weeks will be a good number of days for everyone to get organized with their basic production of food. And after that, they can use what is still being available on stores, nearby stores. Sport items such as surfboards, skateboards, skis, sand or dune sliders, beach sliders, bows, rackets, the small ones, not the professional ones, and play balls, basketball, volleyball, and pool strong balls. That's okay to have. And for the first ones, the big ones I mentioned, people can sell or donate to business owners on authorized locations for each county. And they will be rented out to families on fun days. No eye lenses. Everyone will have proper glasses because that's the most sustainable. We cannot have disposable lenses once they are not needed. So people will have this maybe 2 or 4 weeks to go to take their exam and have their proper glasses, and no sunglasses for anyone because they're not needed, not sustainable. Also, movies, videos, CDs, DVDs, they're all gone. The authorized positive ones will be online and available to everyone. For furniture, we will only have couches that have 2 seats because we're not having 3 anymore, and 4 is too much, with simple washable padding. That's the best we could get right now instead of bulky padding. Families can keep a very few mini videos of their own family at their email, the parents' email address. And parents can focus more on taking pictures instead because they use less space on their cell phones and emails. And also they can show a lot about that special moments that they're having. So everyone during the 4 cleanup weeks and making gardens for children can have 20 pictures, and married adults can have up to 40 pictures. Pictures that are really special and is worth it to keep. And with, of course, respectful dress code and things like that, that is according to our organization. We don't want to keep things that we don't use anymore, such as tattoos, piercing, and things like that. Everyone with friends will already say farewell to them, and because friends will be only from the same county to have contacts such as WhatsApp, right? And emails more for work, for educational sites and things like that. We are not going to give emails to everyone because not needed. So only for very important things. With neighbors and friends in general, we use our Peace app, like WhatsApp. Everyone will have their family records book and start with hardcover, and we'll start writing the information as soon as they receive the notes. The notice for moving or notice of the 4 weeks, because it's very important for the families to keep records, even that they just write a few sentences. It's important to be writing about what's going on. We complete the cleanup of the toys. We complete the cleanup of all objects. We complete the clothes cleanup. So, or we still have this and that, or something like that. So it's very important for us to have those sentences. We completed this and that. Because when the Peace app will be available, you have to check up those items. And it's important for you to have records for all family meetings and special events. Our first Saturday of garden work, our first 2 weeks of garden work, special things. It's important for us to keep records of this. And write a bit more for very special events, like the organization launching day, the first family meetings, and things this way. children's toys. So at home, we'll have up to 4th grade. They will have some baskets of wooden toys since they can build for them to play with siblings or by themselves. That's fine. And the plastic ones more for infants, that is easy to wash, and also for bathtub time. But older children, as soon as they get older, if no other siblings are growing, the parents can bring all the items to local thrift stores and are not going to keep toys at home 5th grade and up, because it's not needed. They will be doing other things, reading more and doing other things, playing more games with their parents, like workout games or board games or running and practicing other things. Board games will be more for rainy days and also for winter days. And the organization will have a list of them, and everyone will be able to check them out. All board games will be donated now to thrift stores for them to sort out, because they will know the ones. So people can renew as well, once many people will be moving anyways. And at the new location, they will choose the games that are approved. Positive and sustainable games. At the pool, we are going to have some games. Little things, very simple things, like a pool mess that's very strong and big, where the children should play a little bit. And we're not going to build new pools in cold regions. The existing ones will have heaters so they can really use the best as possible. No one will have ladder at home because they're not needed. And when is to change a bulb or clean the ceiling lamps, the person that's coming to do this job will bring a ladder. So we will have a ladder for the whole community, some different sizes, but not one per house. That's another thing we will share and be more sustainable this way. For now, parents with children up to 2 years old can keep them in their cribs at their own bedrooms, once many couples will be adopting children teens. Unless they really have space at their homes, when they are 1 year old, they can go to a bedroom that is quiet, because it's very important for those mothers to breastfeed and have a good and calm environment, harmonious environment, until those children are 2 years old. So from 1 to 2, the mothers will breastfeed in the morning, the best as possible, lunchtime, when they arrive 6 o'clock, and when the mother will be going to bed about 9 o'clock or something like that, or 10, depends on their schedule. So for those children to grow really healthy, we need a calm environment for the mother and also for the baby. And don't have the baby in a room that's noisy or older children talking and making noise. So this is very important. The mother will have a proper rocking chair at their bedroom, rented or paid from the thrift store, and will return or donate again to the thrift store to be sustainable. Instead of having biometric machines for the apartments, we will have a key. A proper key is the most sustainable. Even that the other one is more efficient, we will have a key. And middle school and older can have a key of their homes or apartments in case they arrive a few minutes earlier. But for all children from preschool, parents have to pick them up in person once those schools will be right there. And they have to arrive before the elementary children get home, So they won't have the key of their homes, because it's important for parents to be right there receiving them at the house or at the gate, the community gate, when they come. And for those that can even bring them from school. They're walking close by, because elementary school is going to be really close by as well. There's no need to be far away. Once you will have plenty of buildings all over, and it's safer for them to walk just a few blocks instead of having schools too far away. All city mayors and county mayors will have an office at the county city office. And the governments and presidents, in the same way, close to their house, they will have an office there, work, and have proper schedule to attend their needs. Once they don't have create any new law or anything different, they just will work and do their proper reports, weekly reports. The other thing is that all city office will be located in main avenues, going from south to north on the right side, because then everyone will have a pattern, have their office on main avenues to facilitate for people, because main avenues are the ones that have urban buses and so on. And city offices will have one or more depending on how is the population, because some counties are really, really populated. So it depends on their needs. So people will have their jobs, and for those that need services, we'll have proper time to do what they need, have their documents, whatever they need, in a good, reasonable time, instead of being in line for too long. All city offices will have a main door. Can even have some doors in different buildings for different items, but we are not going to have doors at the back of buildings or on the side of buildings, because they are not needed. For people that are coming out, of course, but for garden, that's okay if the person has a door that's going to the garden, for the staff member, or they can eat at the front of the building with some picnic tables there. For the producers of communication items, all items from songs, videos, tutorial videos, documentaries, music, and movies, and everything else. So for people that had their items, their communication items approved completely, that's fine. And for those that need to improve the title or anything else, they will have time. They don't have to run for that. And for everyone else that are making new ones, they have to do it until 2040. The same way as for the headquarters, for everyone. And be approved in a reasonable time and publish before the end of 2040. And after that, no more will be published, authorized, or received to be evaluated, because everything will already be made and no new items will be needed. After that time, people are not going to create new songs as well. All those items I mentioned, but it's important to mention songs as well, because sometimes people create songs, and for us to be safe for centuries and millennia, we are not creating new songs. So it's very important for us to have different songs about different subjects now until 2040 for different age groups, different subjects, all positive, harmonious, because that's the best for our lives. For cooking pans, you can have about 5 pans for all future families. For now, that we are about 14 people, we will need maybe 6 pens or some larger ones, because in the future we're going to have 2 kids, but right now we are going to have 8, so it's a big difference. So people can have some large pans because we need food, right? But on the future we will focus on having 5 pans, 5 or 6, I still think about that. We're going to have proper videos showing, including non-stick pans, because some strong ones can last forever. They're really good. And not the ones with coating that we use, as we use they peel off, not that one, but the very strong, durable one. That's fine and needed. We are not going to use belts, the best as possible, and all the new, for the 28 weeks, if someone needs in the beginning, that's fine, but not for after, because all of us will have inner stripes of fabric with a button for people to use and tie them up, like we have nowadays, men with elastic for children, but we will have in cotton for teens and adults as well, for everyone, because that's the most sustainable. We don't need belts. They're not needed. Nobody's gonna see them anyways, because we're gonna have loose clothes covering all the hip area. So this is the best and most sustainable, positive for everyone. The other thing is that everyone going to laundry room, going for a walk, going running, going to the playground, needs to lock their doors, their apartment home doors. That's mandatory. Okay, so if the day to do the laundry is the parents' day, so they will lock the doors. The teenagers' day, okay, they go, they leave, or someone that's inside, or when they leave, they have to lock the door. Oh, this is very important for us to be secure, even that we know people for many years, being with them. It's important for us to keep this habit of closing the door, leaving the house for any reason, close the door, or the ones that are staying inside, lock the door. Lock the door with proper keys. And people will have hooks to put on their pants. So we're not going to have many hooks on the pants for belts, but we are going to have hooks, very strong metal hooks that we can attach to our pants, because very important. We're not going to have in our lanyards, because we're not going to have long lanyards, with strings for the cards. That's not safe. We are going to have badges at the clothes, school clothes, and to work and everything else. Badges with pins, name tags, and not with strings. Thank you. The other thing that we heard about and we're not having is machines for rain. We're not going to have those things. We are going to learn how to pray for all our needs and cure ourselves and cure others and even improve the weather, but with prayers, not with machines. For the vehicles that are authorized that we can still have, they're going to run in solar panels. That's very important. And for those that need, we can do some plant-based gas, like ethanol or something like that, because we're not going to have petroleum anymore. That's very important. We can use during these 28 weeks, because until we have all these new trains and new cars with proper solar panels, but not after, for sure. And all the extraction based will be taken out. Allopathic drugs, we're going to have a list of them. For people that have any type of problem, they can have some. They have to decrease, and stop using by the end of the 28 weeks. So when they will see their new doctors, it's very important for them to follow the proper organization videos for everything they will be doing, so it can be manageable, and by the end of the 28 weeks for them to be healthy. If they're not healthy by then, for all this dementia and things like that are severe, they have to join the life renovation program with electric chair, because that's the only way, my friends, because we cannot have hospice and assistant care and people living away from their families, because that's not sustainable and not positive. We will also have 2 lists. One list that's only for the 28 weeks that people can still purchase, and the doctors will decrease the amount or decrease the time, whichever is better for the person's case. And the other one is the ones that will stay for many years, that I don't know how many, like for the vaccines that we need, immunization vaccines. Those are still needed for quite some time. And afterwards, hopefully, we won't need anything. We'll be so well connected to nature and positive habits. We will have great health. I didn't mention, so we will have for vaccines and also some antibiotic, very few things, just for this transition decades, because many people are already very sick. So, but after that, antibiotic, for example, we don't need for sure, and the vaccines can last a few more decades. So let's see what specialists can say about that, and how long will be safe for all of us. And in case future generations need, what will be the recipe, which ones they can do, which ones they cannot, in case it's needed. Because everyone will have proper hygiene, everyone will be eating really healthy, and have natural antioxidant, antibiotics, and even vaccines won't be needed, because the bad things will be extinct. We will take the vaccines now for a few decades. Everyone is mandatory, and mostly for those countries that still having problems. And mosquitoes going to be gone on those areas if we do the proper planting that we have been talking about, with a lot of herbs, different herbs. They will go to the woods and not to people. And we will have fans so nobody will get bites at night. And all these details, we're being really careful, so all of us will be safe and in a better environment, positive, sustainable, and safe environment. To use the laundry, families will pay by month. That's the most sustainable. We're not going to have cards, we're not going to have card machines, we're not going to have apps, because all of these are not needed. We can even have the app just for people to see the time they put their laundry in, but not to be charging them, because they break, and then it's hard to get the money back, and it's a long story. So people will pay for the month and get their clothes done. And mostly for the 28 weeks, if they need extra day to wash and machines are available, go ahead and wash them without extra payment, because in the future we'll be better organized with proper schedule, enough machines for everyone. But for now, we have to be really careful and wash our clothes with consistency. That's very important. The other thing is that families need to take their warm medicine before they go to another country, because on the area there are for some places, of course, like slums, shanty homes, places that were not having proper toiletry. So when they get to the new country, they're not bringing anything with them. So it's better for them to stay about 5 days or so, take those medicine like ivermectin or others depending on the case, and stay there and wash their clothes and cut their hairs and everything, because then they won't have lice. So when they go to the new country, they're already not bringing any of those problems, worms or lice, to their new homes. So this is very important. They have to take the medicine in front of the doctor or the nurse when they go to the clinic, to make sure they eat, because some people, they don't like to take. They know it's important, they know it's good for them, they don't like to take it. People with diabetes will take turmeric pills, lots of turmeric and garlic and other things. So everyone will have, will have the orientation of the doctor, but the warm medicine and ivermectin for lice will be taken before they move. Very important. For some worms, for very bad ones, depending on the assessment they will have, checking their eyes, checking their pulse, they can even stay more days on those specific cases. And they can go after. So they're safer and healthier when they arrive to the new location. That's very important. And for all places those people are living and using need to be washed really well. People will be using white rubber boots to wash those bathrooms, those places, those streets, right? We need to be really careful about that. The other thing is that people that were taking a lot of sun, as all of us will have in the future, we won't have worms, because people that take sun do not have worms. Enough sun, depends, because some places are cold and it's kind of gray, right? Even that they might think it's taking sun, it's not so much sun. But farmers in general, farmers that eat healthy, they don't have worms, because they spend a lot of time in the sun. So it takes the worms away. But for now, everyone will take worm medicine. And we're still doing a study if the worm medicine will be taken every 2 years or every 4 years, because we need to be healthy. And when we're gonna plant our gardens, we need a lot of bacteria in our gardens, but we have to wash really well fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables and salads, according to the videos we will be placing, how long they have to. If just spray vinegar half a half with water, it's okay. Or if we have actually to dip them in vinegar, which ones lose their taste a lot when we place vinegar, which other options we can use, like lemons and things like that. Or even soap for some roots, a brush and soap, because it's biodegradable soap if we rinse really well. So we are going to follow instructions, because we have to take care. And then everyone will take warm medicine every 2 or 4 years. I'm checking those details, and we will know about. For fishing, we have many different items, but in a few words, we have small sustainable boats. While we can use them now, no more will be produced. And on the future we have the barges that we always have and maintain them well. And we also have the rafts rafts that we can use with some wooden handles for the families to use as fun days and get their fishing. And people will also fish for work and sell in local fisheries that families have to walk and purchase them. They won't be delivered to residential communities. For hair comb pins, for special ones, more for special days like birthdays, graduations, and things, and moments, special moments like that. And for daily running, people can have two, one for each side, right? And just to keep their bangs or their hair tight for females only, of course. And so they can have two pairs. And the one is special one, the very special one, if it's one per person, or they can rent out at the thrift store. Because people, young women, can have a little longer hair, so that's fine. And for special occasions, the woman can rent if the person does not want to use with consistency. But if they have and lose, it's the same as their earrings. They have to wait 1 or 2 whole years before they buy a new one, because that's the only way we make people to really pay attention on their items, so items won't be loose and new ones need to be purchased. So I think 1 or 2 years wait time will be the best. We are going to have synthetic pillows for everyone because they are easy to be washed, and if they spin well in the machine, they can be dry out in dryers or even air dry in an easy way. And every family will have one extra pillow, so during the dry season or summer months, the whole family can wash their pillows on specific days, vacation days, because we will have more machines available. So they're very easy and to be washed. The other thing is that I still examine if we're going to have pillows with seeds, because some seeds, they last forever. Those pillows last for 20 years, but we cannot wash them. We can only put them in the sun, and on summer we will have a lot of rain and humidity. But we still examine, because some type of seeds, they're really good and last for a long time, and they do not have dust mites. But we will see if we have, the proper seeds, and after a good check, we are going to list them online and have them available for families to purchase them. Mattresses will be sustainable the most as possible without wires, and some people can use like tatamis, plant-based tatamis, or some other softer ones, or even foam. There's some type of foam, they're very strong and they could last for a long time. The main thing with mattress, we need mattresses to last at least 40 years. We have to think this way, because that's the best for us, because mattresses that people have to change every 5, 8, 10 years, they're not sustained. We need really durable ones. And we will let you know as soon as we have them. For blankets, people can choose. They can have cotton blankets or synthetic, like flannel type blankets, because they're comfortable, they're soft, they're not too heavy, and they have great qualities such as dry easy. as well, on dryers or air dry, so people can have both of them. Soon as they are in solid colors, that will be fine. People can purchase them and have them ready. So basically it's that for the house needs. We are not going to have very big towels because they're really not sustainable. It's very hard to wash, take too long to dry one way or another. We're going to have regular shower towels and pool towels and hand towels and kitchen towels, but not very big ones, to be sustainable. Staff workers will be working at their own community during the 28 weeks. People will only, for the makeover, that's how we are going to do. Because all professionals can be shared in different locations. And we are not going to have communities that are 65 plus or 55 plus. We're not going to have those communities that are only for elders because they're not sustainable. The lack of children playing around, the laugh, the joy, the happiness, new beginnings. So we will have blended communities all over in all counties of all countries. That's the most sustainable. And the families that need their homes have a renovation, a makeover, let's say, they will have the staff that are from their own residential community. And they will take care during the 28 weeks. So this proposal is better than the one I said before, with hiring people from other places. People from other places will only be called if it's really needed. As I said, drop off the materials and they come walk into the community, such as roof and things like that, because we need real teams doing that. But the residents can be teams if they go to proper trainings. So the leaders are the ones that have proper certificates, know well, have experience. And other residents from that same community will attend different groups for different needs to have the job completed. Every community will have the proper places for their pick up items. So families will do the quick clean up, separate the items in bags, and bring to the proper location, or the clubhouse, or the pool area, or by the stairways, hallways, whichever is the best, because some places are really dry and fine at this time, and some places are raining every single day. So we will check and inform all the residents. So for the easy items such as lamps and electric items, things with cords in general, and also for clothes, things like that, families can bring those items before they go to school or to work in the morning, drop them off in the proper locations. So when the people will be coming for pickup, they will already be separated. And if it's in a dry counties, they can even drop off in the evening when they arrive from work. So they have an easy moment in the morning. Okay, so for furniture, the family can drop them off in the evening if it's not rainy or early in the morning, and leave them in a safe location in case it's rainy season. So they can already put outside and lock their doors. So people won't be coming inside when it's not needed. What? For the pickup items, some of them will be sent to the thrift stores and placed in one area, and the other items will be sent to the recycle center and placed in other areas. Or we'll have different days, picking up days, as we will explain on the details for the 4 weeks of cleanup and making gardens. On the handbook of being polite, we can add it's forbidden to call others as baby. Hi baby, for adults or teens or children. If it's a real baby, then it's okay, an infant. No one after 1 year old will be called baby. It's a child, a boy or a girl, but we're not going to use this word baby because that's not the right way. And we are trying to improve with our practices. Orchids are fine to have, but not bromelias. And people can also have some strong ornamentals outside, a few of them. They're strong and no trimming will be needed, such as the one that stay up to 40 centimeters or so. That is fine. Everyone can have information at their genealogy, online genealogy website profile. So up to 100 years, no more is needed. More than that is only for very special scientists, for people that really made an impact, a very positive impact in our humanity. So all the others are not needed. They're just going to have up to 100 years. That's plenty. Just for their grandchildren, great-grandchildren, then it's not needed anymore. People will have just some information about the best they did on their lives and have a few pictures. I think maybe 20 pictures or even 40, maybe 40 pictures will be okay to have at this online website. I think that's a good idea. People can learn about their ancestors once we all will be born soon after. The idea of the 100 years is 100 years after death, just to be clear, because I didn't explain. For every service, people will have of all types, including the makeover. The parents of the house will have the Peace app to place points, and the elders will do the same according to their interaction with that person that came to fix, improve, or do something, install something needed. So we will have records of points achieved for everyone that's working in different areas. That's important. For authorized clothes, shoes, and items that are not in very good conditions, they need to be fixed, such as clothes that's missing buttons or things like that, we will have them sent to the thrift stores, and over there people, volunteers and staff member workers for money can get them fixed and place them for sale. Every thrift store we also have a washer and dryer, because that's important for now, for us to sell good clothes, clean good clothes, because as I said, many people will be coming from many different backgrounds, and some things are in stores or garages for a long time. So it's very important for us to be washing everything that doesn't smell good or does not look good, and offer clean clothes to everyone. Waivers will be done once with the organization for everything they will be doing, from work to beautiful events, activities down community, activities in parks and educational sites. Because we don't need waivers signed everywhere we go, including hotels, for trips, everything you can imagine. It's one waiver. People will sign them yearly at the registration month, and people can have printed copy for the first 2 years. After that, they can do it online, and that's enough. Or maybe we can ask them to really sign once every 10 years or so. So we're really secure and don't have only online information. Gift shop. Our gift shop is for producers to produce their items, sell, have good money. We still don't know. We're going to use some income from the gift shop to pay security, online cameras, checking people, or if we're going to have the income only straight from the families when they get registered once a year, money from the government. So we're still checking those two things, because they're all very important. But the organization also need money to pay their online security guards. Our religious meeting will be on Saturday, soon after our lunch, and we will have one religion and one spiritual guidance for everyone, exactly the same. More connection to nature in a very simple way, in simple words, right? Connection to nature, songs, and contact with each other, and focus on positive, sustainable practices. Those things that we're going to talk about. And we have a list of proper information for the leader, the meeting leader, to know what we can sing or not, subjects we can talk or not, better ones, some for singles, some for married couples, retreats, and things like that. Every commercial site, small commercial site, will have one computer, one or two computers, and one printer. So once a day, those business owners or business staff go, stay there for 1 or 2 hours, wherever they need, and print what they need, pay 10 cents per page, and then they try again next day. So it's important for us to be doing this really properly. We are not going to have floor cleaning machines. We will have people. So for now that we need people, because people will be studying, so they learn English by the end of the 28 weeks, that's okay. But all of them will be sent for recycling. The only exceptions are for big gyms and not stadiums, but gyms, gymnasiums, that they're very big. They can be helpful for a few months until the end of the 28 weeks. After that, we're not going to be used. We're going to use the very long mops, like 1 meter long brooms and 1 meter long mops. Singles that will be moving to other countries with or without their families, they have to already bring a spouse with them, even that the wedding party can be done afterwards. But they are already married and already arrive at the new residential community with their spouses. The only exceptions for countries that have too many males or too many females, that really gonna be hard for them to find someone. So that's okay, they can find the new country they will be living at. Everyone 22 years old and older needs to be living with a spouse and not at their parents' house anymore, because that's really important. So 20, 21, it's okay, but 22 and older, for them to have their own lives and start, because that's the most sustainable and happy way. So they're happy as well, to have a company, a very special friend living with them, a spouse, a husband or a wife. Okay, my friends, so here's the end of the department 2. The only thing that's missing, I'm going to make a separate video, is the dress code, and we go from there. So thank you so much, government leaders, for already trying to place all those things into law, and also for the volunteers that will be helping us to make short videos, tutorial videos for all this information, and also adding to the new videos pictures and things. So all these videos that I'm making here is for people to have an idea, for families, for volunteers making those videos, for leaders making those laws, for people to have, and volunteers also that will be signing up for the 4 weeks and the 28 weeks. But after that, we will have our new videos, and those won't be needed anymore. Okay, my friends, you have a wonderful day. Let's do really the best to already place all those things in practice. Let's already practice everything. Okay? Many blessings. Take care.